I thought my son forgot my birthday, until the waiter handed me the note, opening hook, the bucket of ice water. I'm sitting at a corner table at Marcello's, the Italian restaurant where my son Michael booked a reservation. It's 7:15 p.m. on March 14th, my 62nd birthday. I'm wearing the navy dress I bought on sale 3 weeks ago because I wanted to look nice for him, and my hands are shaking as I fold and unfold my napkin. The table is set for 2. I've been waiting for 18 minutes. Michael's text came in at 6:58 p.m. Mom, something came up at work. Can't make it. Sorry. Rain check. Rain check. Those 2 words hit me like a bucket of ice water. Not apologetic. Not urgent. Just transactional. Like he was canceling a dentist appointment, not his mother's birthday dinner. But here's the thing about being a mom who has spent the last 15 years saying yes to everything Michael asked for. I didn't cry. I didn't leave. I sat there in that navy dress and ordered the salmon anyway because I wasn't about to waste the $65 he told me he'd pay me back for when he got paid. He never got paid. The waiter Marco kept checking on me. I could see the pity in his eyes. A woman alone on her birthday. He brought complimentary tiramisu at the end. And that's when he handed me the note. The note that changed everything. Your son called, Marco said quietly, placing the small white card next to the dessert. He asked me to give this to you when you finished dinner. My hands were shaking as I opened it. Mom, I know I flaked. But I need to be honest. I'm struggling financially and I can't afford to take you to nice places right now. I feel terrible about it, but it's not fair that you're always spending money on me when I can't do the same. We need to talk about setting boundaries. I think I've been taking advantage and I want to be better. Maybe we should see a therapist together? Love, Michael. Read that again. Read it carefully. He canceled my birthday dinner, at the last minute, by text. Then sent me a note through the waiter saying he felt bad about taking advantage of me. Do you see what just happened? He made his failure into my problem. He weaponized guilt like a surgeon wields a scalpel. The irony wasn't lost on me, sitting there in that $65 dress I couldn't really afford. Because I had been giving him money. A lot of money. But not because he was taking advantage. Because I was drowning and he had learned to hold my head underwater while calling it love. The financial arithmetic of sacrifice. Let me show you the numbers. Because numbers don't lie, and right now I need you to understand exactly what had been happening. 2008. Michael turns 19. He drops out of community college. Says he's finding himself. I pay his car insurance. $120 a month. Doesn't sound like much. That was $1,440 that year alone. 2010 he gets arrested for a DUI. I hire the lawyer. $3,200. I tell myself it's an investment in his future. That's the language I used. Investment. 2012 he moves into an apartment with 3 roommates. Calls me in October saying the landlord will evict him if he doesn't pay his share of the deposit. $900. He'll pay me back, he promises. He never does. 2014 his girlfriend gets pregnant. I'm going to be a grandmother. He needs help with baby expenses. I clear out my savings account and give him $4,500. I tell him it's a gift, but I'm lying to myself. I'm hoping it means he'll settle down. He doesn't settle. The girlfriend leaves 6 months later. By 2019 I've done the math in my own head so many times I've memorized it. Car insurance and phone bills. $18,000 the lawyer. $3,200 apartment deposits and rent help. $7 200-inch emergency cash loans. $8 100 baby expenses. $4 500 vacations I paid for. $2 600 Christmas gifts, 2008 to 2019 $4,800. Total, $48,400. That's nearly $50,000. That's my entire early retirement fund. That's the inheritance my mother left me when she died, meant to carry me through my final decades. I'm 62 years old. I work as a medical billing specialist. My yearly salary is $52,000 before taxes. Do the math with me. I spent nearly a full year's salary, after working for it for 40 years, on my son. And here's what really broke me. I never told him the total. I never said, Michael, you owe me $50,000. Because I wasn't a bank. I was a mom. Moms don't keep scorecards, right? Wrong. I kept the most detailed scorecards on earth. They were just written on my heart instead of in a ledger. The pattern becomes visible. My friend Carol came over the afternoon after the birthday dinner. She's a therapist, not my therapist, which is important to this story, and she found me sitting at my kitchen table with my bills spread out like tarot cards of doom. "Walk me through this," she said, sitting across from me with her coffee. So I did. I showed her the pattern. 2013. Michael needs money for dental work. $800. I pay it. He goes silent for 2 weeks, then texts me asking if I'm still mad, even though I never said I was mad. I apologize for upsetting him. 2015. His car breaks down. $2,200 for transmission repair. I pay half. He thanks me so much, tells me I'm the best mom, and then 3 weeks later asks if I can help with his electric bill because the car repair set him back. 2017. He loses a job. Says it's not his fault. The boss had it out for him. He needs $1,500 to get back on his feet, and promises he'll pay me back the second he finds work. He finds work. He never pays me back. I pretend I forgot I lent it to him so he won't feel bad. 2019. His girlfriend tries to leave him for the second time. He's in crisis. He calls me at work crying, actually crying, and says he can't live without her and can't afford to make it work by having his own place temporarily. I give him $3,000. They break up anyway 2 months later, and he uses the guilt of my failed investment as leverage to ask for more help. "Do you see it?" Carol asked me. "See what?" I said, but my stomach was already dropping. "The pattern," she said gently. "Every time you set a boundary, even a soft one, he creates a crisis. And you drop everything. Then once you've proven you'll always drop everything, he gets worse at managing his life, not better. Because he doesn't have to." I wanted to argue. He's my son. He's not doing this on purpose. He has struggled with anxiety and depression. He's got ADHD. But Carol just looked at me across my kitchen table and said, "Susan, I'm going to tell you something I should have said years ago. Every dollar you give him is a vote against your own retirement. Every crisis you solve teaches him that his crisis management is your responsibility." I started crying then. Not delicate tears. Ugly, racking sobs that came from some deep place I didn't know existed. The pivot. When he turned it around. Here's where it gets sneaky. After that birthday dinner note, Michael got really good at one thing. Making me feel guilty about the money. He started sending me articles about financial abuse. Not articles about him doing financial abuse. Articles about how parents can financially abuse their adult kids by helping too much. He left them on my Facebook timeline. Passive-aggressive. Deniable. He changed his Instagram to include motivational quotes about boundaries and toxic family dynamics. He told his sister, my other child, that he was worried about mom's codependency, and that her therapist agreed we needed to set better boundaries. He never mentioned that his therapist was a 24-year-old girlfriend he'd met on a dating app who worked at Whole Foods. But the masterstroke? The moment that made me feel like I was going absolutely crazy? He started apologizing ahead of time. "Mom, I know you think I owe you money. I get it. I've been in therapy and I realize how much I've hurt you. But you have to understand, I grew up in a house where love was conditional on money. I didn't grow up in a house where love was conditional on money. I grew up poor. My mother worked 2 jobs. I wanted to give my kids a better life. That's not the same as making love conditional." But he'd found my wound and he was pressing directly into it. He showed up at my house one Sunday unannounced, first time in 3 months, with flowers from Trader Joe's, $12.99. He made sure to mention he bought them with his own money, and said, "Mom, I've been really unfair to you. And I'm sorry. I want to make it right. But I can only make it right if you forgive me and we start fresh. New slate. No keeping score. New slate." He was asking me to forget $48,400 like it was an unpaid parking ticket. "Of course I forgive you," I heard myself say. "I love you. I love you too, Mom," he said. "I'm going to be different now. I promise." He wasn't different. He was just resetting my memory and my boundaries like a computer to factory settings. 3 weeks after that apology and flowers moment, he texted, "Hey Mom, this is embarrassing but my credit is really bad and I can't qualify for my own apartment lease. Could you co-sign for me? I promise I'll pay on time and you won't have to worry about anything. I really need this fresh start." I stared at that message for 45 minutes. My hands were shaking again like they had in Marcelo's restaurant. And something in me broke open. Not in a falling apart way. In a cracking foundation way. A load-bearing wall way. I thought about the note in the restaurant. About how he'd made his failure into my problem. About how he'd told me I needed boundaries because he was bad at keeping them. I picked up the phone and I called him. "Hi, Mom," he answered. Very cheerful. Very expecting a yes. "I can't do this anymore," I said. My voice sounded like it was coming from someone else's body. "Can't do what?" "Any of this. The money. The co-signing. The pattern. I can't." There was a pause. Then, "Wow, so you're just going to abandon me when things are hard? That's cold, Mom." And there was the moment my defiance became his weapon. Asking him to manage his own life became me abandoning him. Setting a boundary became me being cold. "I love you very much," I said. And I meant it. "But I'm not going to co-sign that lease." "Fine," he said. "I guess I'll figure it out." He didn't figure it out. Instead, he called his sister and told her I was going through financial issues and becoming paranoid, and that she should watch out because I might be having a mental health crisis. He was gaslighting me through a third party. That was the moment I realized. This isn't a money problem. This is a boundary problem. And I'm losing. The ice water in that restaurant. It was just the beginning. I sat alone in my apartment that night. The same apartment I couldn't upgrade because every extra dollar went to his emergencies. And I looked at myself in the mirror. 62 years old. Worked for 40 years. Had nothing to show for it except a son who called my love conditional and my boundaries paranoid. My mother used to say, "Susan, you can't pour from an empty cup." I didn't understand what she meant until I was completely, utterly, devastatingly empty. I had one choice: stay empty or finally learn to say no. What I didn't know yet was how hard he would fight to keep me pouring.